If you're someone who stands up too much during your downswing and you want to learn how to stay down to be able to compress the ball better, we're going to show you the fastest way to do that right now. Steve, so a lot of players who struggle during the downswing with some form of standing up, right? And consequentially, they don't hit the ball solid.
Yep.
They're more inconsistent than they want to be. And we know with the best players in the world, or the best players that we coach, their ability to maintain their inclination to the ground, which we'll show throughout the video here, is one of the key things in a golf swing we want.
Yep.
So a lot of players know they stand up, and they've tried to fix it through whatever way, and it hasn't worked. But I think the way that I see you do this with players is really the fastest way for them to be able to change that with this right foot back or bowler drill. But before we dive into that, I think there's a key correlation to be drawn here in kind of sort of a good or a bad swing and why this works so well. When we see the poor version, this might be you if you're watching, if you're standing up too much, typically what we would see, Steve, right, is the foot, the knee, and even the hip would work too much in towards the ball, and the shoulder, and even the head, but the shoulder,
go back,
head's back, shoulders up and back too far.
And the head's coming like off, you know, off the wall, like you said, losing your inclination going backwards as you're hitting it.
So bad is foot, knee, hip.
I would say really, if you wanted to ask, like, where does it start from? You know, where does my quote unquote early extending start from? It's really from the foot.
Yeah.
The foot and the ankle is really where that starts.
The beginning part. And so if the bad is the foot, knee, hip in, chest and shoulder up and back, the goods would be the opposite of those, right? The foot, knee, hip, back.
Back. And
not in.
I'm going to say one more thing to that.
Yeah.
We said it starts with the foot. Sometimes even starts in the setup where your right foot and right knee aren't even turned out enough at the setup.
Okay.
Is where that would start from. So if you want to do a real quick on your,
I
setup.
I think just to clarify one second with that. So if the bad, just so they can correlate this in your head, the bad's the foot, knee, hip in, shoulder up and back. That means the good, and the whole point of this drill we're going to do is the foot, knee, hip back and the shoulder down and forward. I'm going to say that one more time. The bad is the foot, knee, hip in, the shoulder up and back.
Yep. Foot and knee going towards the target line or towards the golf ball.
Towards the ball. So the goods are the opposite. Foot, knee, hip back, shoulder down and forward. Okay, I just want to clarify that.
It's good. And like I was just saying, it starts sometimes even in the setup where that right foot and knee aren't even turned out enough.
Like it goes too far this way.
Your right foot's at like a right angle to the stance line.
Yeah.
That's sometimes where it even begins there.
Okay.
So if you want to head into the drill?
Yeah. So if someone has that, and we're like, okay, what's the thing they can do that would quickly be able to have them keep that inclination?
Yeah.
So pretend I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Coming in for the lesson, right? I'm early extending. I kind of have.
Yeah, you're losing your inclination like you're saying.
I'll do all the, set up with my foot in.
Yep. So the first thing I'd say would be flare the feet and the knees out.
Feet and the knees.
Yep. Turn them out, say 20, 30 degrees relative to the stance line.
Okay.
Drop the right foot back, and you could turn it out even more as you're dropping it back. And then that's the beginning of slowing down the plantar flexion and the thrusting from the knee and the hip. That's the beginning of slowing that down.
Okay.
And like you were just saying, that helps. Do your setup one more time. That's helping to promote the right shoulder to feel like it's moving past the right hip in your follow through to help you not pop up. And like you said, to stay in your inclination and your side tilt through the ball, which makes the strike, which helps make the strike better.
Yeah, better strike, more consistent contact.
It'll also help a little bit with the swing direction, not going so far to the right.
Too far now.
Take some pushing off. This would help take some push shots off.
Yeah. So if I'm a student and I come in and I've never heard this before.
Yep.
Right? How am I starting? Am I doing just the foot back first?
Yes.
Okay, so I got my foot flared and I say, Steve, is that enough flare?
I say that's plenty.
And I'm going to pull my foot back. Is it kind of how far back I should go?
I would say that ranges from how severe the problem is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So do your setup. So I would say the way that you have it right here, let's call that like 4 inches. I would say would be standard. You could go back more, or less, really depending on the amount that you're
bad the issue is.
thrusting and extending.
Okay, I like that. So if I kind of have here as a starting point, maybe my toe is kind of in the middle of my left foot.
I think that'd be fine.
And my right foot to me feels like, if this is like 12 o'clock, maybe like between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And if you wanted to, like again, we were just saying, if you feel like you have a severe case, you could go out even more.
Even more.
Yes.
Okay. So don't be shy about flaring the foot. Correct. And having the foot back. Correct. And so if you were watching and you're struggling with this, we'd hit some shots with this first things first. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let me hit 1 or 2.
And I would say, all right, just feel like you don't even move your foot. Keep your foot flat on the ground, and then feel like your right shoulder moves forward through the ball.
Keep my right foot down, make my right shoulder
Don't
look
even
forward.
move the right foot or the right knee. Feel like it just stays flat. And I would say that's pretty good. I try to keep it down even longer as you hit.
Okay, even more.
Yep.
So obviously if someone stands up, and this is you watching, very likely their heel is going to come off the ground quick.
First, that'd be the first thing. Like we were just saying, where it really starts from is from the ankle, the plantar flexion in the right ankle.
So I'm even feeling like keep my heel specifically down.
Yes.
Okay.
You can, what you're just doing right there, do that one more time, what you just did, that practice swing.
Yeah.
You can see how your foot's like it's still on the ground and it's rolled in.
Yeah,
like it's banked in more.
And I really have to feel like I get my shoulder forward even just to get to the ball. Okay, so my foot is flared and back. I'm going to keep my heel down. I feel like I can only do this at like a little swing.
Yes. Yeah, you're just punching the ball. I'd say 70%. Exactly. That'd be the exact way to practice getting that feel right. You could really feel like your foot and your legs quiet.
Okay.
It feels like there's no thrusting. And it feels to you like it's all upper body.
It feels like all upper body. It feels like my lower body's almost restricted.
Yes.
And compared to me normally having my lot of right hip action, it's like, whoa, that's not doing a lot here. And we said earlier, the problem with standing up is the lower body working in. And so this is what we should feel, which is that it's more back.
Yes.
That's more back. Okay, I'm going to do one more like this.
Especially going to the back part one more time, you can see as you're doing it, as you have the foot and the knee back, the right hip's already pulled back in the setup.
Okay.
The right hip's pulled back, helping, once again, helping to promote that shoulder to move past it in the follow through. That's the feel.
Yeah,
it feels like the shoulder's moving past the hip.
So if you're watching this, we're going to start with like a shorter iron, kind of half swing.
Yeah, grab like
8 iron speed.
8, and then work your way up. I mean, you can do this drill with any club, but where to start, I would say 8 iron.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's really nice.
And one of the things as I'm feeling this, obviously, as I'm coming through, my heel came up a little bit, but my foot and knee and all that feel more back. I naturally feel like I'm more tilted over, right? I've got more tilt into the follow through, which is the second piece of the puzzle of when I normally stand up too much and I'm coming through, my head comes off the wall, I've got no tilt.
Correct.
And we'll see those good players when they come through. The piece that keeps them staying down or keeping their inclination and not standing up is really the right side tilt on the way through. Right?
The right shoulder lower than the left, the right hip lower than the left.
Yeah.
The hips are tilted, promoting that inclination or that side tilt, as you were just saying.
So I'm not like keeping my chest down towards the ball.
Correct.
I'm keeping my shoulder down.
Yes.
My chest works out towards the target.
Yeah, the shoulder's moving forward, right? I think this is a good part to add on to what you're saying, that your right shoulder is moving forward, but as it's moving forward, it's still underneath of the left. You're still tilted. You're not moving it forward and the shoulders are level to the ground. It's in a side tilt.
Yes. Yeah, when you do that, if we do the good versus bad, here's me good, shoulder down, keeping that inclination.
Yeah.
And then the bad version, obviously that's
coming off the wall out of the side tilt and the shoulders are level to the ground.
Yeah, there's my standing up.
Yeah.
So as I would progress forward here, one of the things I like that you do with this that I would typically add on, for a student, we've got the foot back and flared. I'm feeling like the right foot staying down or banking, heel more down. I'm also being intentional about my shoulder getting at or past the golf ball.
Yes.
As a reference of like, hey, how far forward or back am I trying to do here? We know we're trying to keep it down to the point where my head stays on the wall. And we're trying to get it forward, to the ball line by like the time the arms are parallel.
I'll add a little bit more to that. So if you were filming your swing and you boxed your head in, you wouldn't want to see your head go back behind the wall or the box, or your head would bump into this shaft coming through the hip. So the more that you feel like the right foot and the knee are quiet, and the more that the right shoulder's pushing more forward, that's a force, right? That's a force that's pushing you towards the target.
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning you said that the foot comes off the ground, the knee goes towards the ball line, the shoulder goes back and up as well as the head.
Yes.
So as the foot and the knee are quiet, that shoulder's moving forward. That's a force that's pushing the head forward from the front view.
Yeah.
And then from the down the line view, it's keeping you in your side tilt.
Yeah, perfect.
So you're in your inclination and you're not going up and back.
Yeah.
Once again, those would be two parts to help move the low point of the swing more forward.
Hit the ball more consistently solid.
Correct.
Okay, I'm just gonna go a little bit longer and faster. So as we would progress with this, you know, let's say I'm just thinking about the foot and the leg first, hitting some little half one, trying to keep it all the way down. And then as I go a little bit longer, if that comes up a little bit, but I'm gonna be feeling like my shoulder's gonna get at or past the ball line. So the right foot, right shoulder being the keys here. Foot's back, toes about in line with the middle of the foot, flared.
You're still doing your best to try to keep the foot down, but it'll come up a little bit more as you go harder.
Okay. So foot down, shoulder forward.
Nice hit. And that's a tight draw too. There's no push in that ball.
No, very solid, very straight. So like when you're getting the standing up and you're watching this, you're very likely getting some fats and thins.
And push.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Too much right.
Too much push as you're having this problem.
Foot's down, shoulders forward. Foot back and flared.
Yep.
Keep the foot down, shoulder at and past the ball line.
Another nice one.
Yeah, and that's got, I mean, you probably maybe get a little tracer on that one. You can hear it's solid. My miss when I get too far under and have some standing up is definitely the launch right, push, fats, thins, and then some potential hook with it.
Right.
When you do this and do this right, obviously you can see on camera, you want to look like the models, but you should be hitting the ball solid, and it should be launching on the line.
Yeah,
not a lot of
less
curve.
push.
Less push.
If anything, this drill would promote more of a pull.
Gotcha. Okay, less push. So standing up in the golf swing, that's a big issue for a lot of players. Yes. I've seen Steve do this. I've done this with many golfers before. This is the fastest way to be able to change that. Foot back, bowler drill,
isolate the foot. Yeah, isolate the foot.
Isolate the foot. We'll put Steve's info down below if you want to check him out for in-person lessons. Obviously, we coach together on CogornoGolf.com. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Leave us a comment down below if you guys have any questions on how to stay down better so we can help you solve that.